Hello, my name is Matt Gibson, and I teach 8th grade here at Newtown Middle School. My goal for today is to try to help you understand the different levels of math in each grade and which one is best for your son or daughter. So let me start in this column here. This is the handout I would normally have. So this has all the information about the different courses we have, the different offerings we have in 8th grade and 7th grade math, and then also in 9th grade. So in 7th grade, we have three options. Let me start with this one. This is Honors Algebra 1. To take this course, you have to be recommended by the math specialist and your math teacher. So this is one where there's really no choice. If you're recommended for this, you can take this. If not, you don't have this option. Those students will then continue, assuming they're successful in 8th grade, they'll take Honors Algebra 2. Assuming they're successful there, they'll take Honors Geometry in 9th grade. If they struggle at any point, and all the arrows going in this direction, like this arrow here, would mean, let's say you struggled in 7th grade, then you would retake the course again in 7th grade. So let's just assume that most people are going to follow the blue track there. I'll talk about the characteristics of those students in a minute. Before I get to the other two courses, let me just mention that math is the one subject that does get tracked, which means if you are not in this Algebra 1 course in 7th grade, you can't take Algebra 2 in 8th grade. I'll talk about that more in a couple minutes. All right, so if you take Academic Math 7 in 8th grade, you will take Academic Math 8, which is called Pre-Algebra. The 7th grade course is not pre-algebra. It's a way to strengthen your skills that you learn in elementary school. More difficult numbers and so forth with those concepts. But what we're saying is these students are not quite ready for pre-algebra yet. So they're going to take a course called Academic Math 7 that will get them really ready to take pre-algebra in 8th grade. Assuming they're successful in 8th grade, in 9th grade, they'll either take Accelerated Algebra 1 or Algebra 1, depending on their level of math ability and so forth. And that would be their 9th grade course. If they struggle in this, then they would take something called Concepts in Math, which just means they're not quite ready for Algebra 1 in 9th grade. Our Honors 7th grade is called Pre-Algebra. Those students would be taking pre-algebra in 7th grade, so then in 8th grade, they're ready for Algebra 1. Again, if they struggle in 7th grade, then they would go back and they would repeat the course and take pre-algebra again in 8th grade. Assuming they're successful here in 8th grade, they would take Accelerated Algebra 2 or Honors Algebra 2, depending on how they've done in 8th grade. As I said, math does get tracked. So you can't go, so if you look at this note here, it says it's not possible to go to 8th grade Algebra 1 from academic. So if I'm in the green track here, I can't skip pre-algebra and go to Algebra 1. It just doesn't work. It would be like going to Spanish 3 without having taken Spanish 2. Like, let's say you have Spanish 1 and you skip Spanish 2 and go to Spanish 3. Nobody would do that. So that would be like this jump here. Also, as we just said, you can't go from the red to Algebra 2 because you haven't had Algebra 1 yet. The rest of the courses would be in the program planning guide for 10th through 12th. The last thing I want to talk about is just the characteristics of students that we see that are successful in honors math courses. Now, the blue track here, these are the students that I said that are recommended by the math specialist and the math teacher. Those students are going to have pretty much all of these. Those are the students that are really exceptional in math and everything else in terms of their success so far in elementary school. The red, the Honors Math 7, should have most of these. But these characteristics are not all equal. The first three are really the most important. Those are the natural math ability. Do you just have a strong mathematical insight and ability? Do you pick up ideas quickly the first time? Do you remember what you did? If we do something in November, when we come back to it in February with a quick review, do you remember and right back where you were when you learned it the first time? Some of the skills down here, we want you to have obviously all of them, but you can still have success in honors if you are not the most organized. We can help you with that skill. We can help you with developing good work habits. We can help you with some of these other things, but the top ones are really the key. So we're looking for as many as possible for these. So hopefully that's painting a picture for you of where your son or daughter might fall. I know it's difficult when you don't have the recommendation yet. But those are the math options you have for middle school. Enjoy the rest of your night.